What's going on, guys? I've been on YouTube for about 8 months, and as I've grown, as I've continued to make videos, I started to think back on what made me able to do YouTube the way I can do it. I know a lot of people suffer from being on the camera and not wanting to show their face or being able to speak properly on camera. And I said, what was the main thing that helped me? Well, what helped me was being a teacher. You see, as a teacher, you are in front of the class. You are the leader. Your students has to be able to understand you, which means you got to speak well, and you have to be able to teach them something so that they can take that into the future. Being a teacher has taught me that you have to be willing to modify the situation at any time. You also have to be willing to pivot. Now, being able to have those skills of being able to modify quickly, being able to pivot quickly, and to be able to get your point across within a few minutes, because you only have a few minutes for the lesson to be able to do what you need to do. As a teacher, we have something called I do, we do, you do, which means that I will show the students what I want them to do. I will give them examples of how to do it, whether if it's a writing assignment, how to write it out, how to read, if it's a math assignment, how to do the math problem, how to figure it out, so that they can be able to do it themselves. Then during the we do process, we do it together, which means that as I give an example on the board, I will be able to bring a couple of students up and we'll be able to figure out the problem and figure out the answer together. Then the you do is when I push them out and I allow them to figure out the work by themselves. And if as I'm walking around the class, I see that they need help, I will be able to pull them in a small group and be able to help them like that. YouTube is similar. You see, as you are on YouTube, especially as a person who started, as you can see, I'm just about a little bit over 700 subscribers, and I thank each and every one of them. I really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed right now, please hit the subscribe button, give me a like, make some comments, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for any videos that I drop. Really appreciate each and every one of you. But with YouTube, you got to understand that you have to be able to modify on the fly. And what does that mean? Well, you create a video, you work hard on that video, you edit that video, and you post it, and you realize you only get 10 views. Are you going to quarrel about it? Are you going to cry, oh my God, I can't believe it, I'm going to give up? No. You look and you say, well, I'm going to have to modify something or modify my approach the next go around. And once you modify, that modification might get you from 10 views to 12 views. Well, hey, that's a 20% increase. Now we're going to math. That's a 20% increase in views. Good. So now as you keep going, you keep modifying, and you being able to do what you got to do. And as soon more people will recognize you, more people will listen to you, and more people will say, hey, I kind of agree with what he has to say. Next thing is to pivot. Well, you might have been doing something that has not been working for you, and you have to pivot from what you've been doing. If what you've been doing have been getting you low views, consistent low views, meaning that nobody's watching and nobody's subscribing, then it's a problem. If you're getting low views but people are subscribing to your channel and you're getting newer people to watch, then you may not have to pivot from what you're doing. But if you're getting low views plus nobody's subscribing to your channel, that means you need to pivot, because what you're doing, what you're giving the public is not something that they're asking for. Or you could be boring. So you got to pivot and say, hey, how can I be more exciting on the camera? A lot of people want to do faceless channels because they don't want to be on the camera. Well, that's why you got to modify what or who you are. Okay, maybe modify how you look. Get a haircut. They shave. All right. See, for me, okay, I could be a little, crusty sometimes, but I have the confidence to say I can come on camera and be able to know that I can give you guys good, decent, quality content from my perspective. And hopefully, the content that I give you guys from your perspective is good and decent as well. But I know that it's going to take time. Is another thing that I learned as being a teacher that helped me with YouTube. You have to have patience. Your students, as a teacher, I know that my students not going to get it right away. They're not going to understand what I'm saying right away. So that means that I'm going to have to help them. We're going to have to constantly be able to give them that things that can help them and make them grow. What is that called on YouTube? Consistency. I'm not just gonna give my students one way of showing it and then that's it, and then be like, here's the test and that's it. No, I have to constantly keep giving it to them, allowing them to absorb it, allowing them to understand it, so that once I give them a test, they can be able to regurgitate everything I told them back and show me that they understand it. You have to be consistent in what you're doing. You don't give up on your audience, just like I don't give up on my students. So do not think that you can just make one video and go viral. Forget about that. It takes time. You have to be able to put in that work. That's another thing I realized as a teacher. You're gonna have to put in work. You're not gonna do it one time and done. It's not gonna happen. Because if that was, you would see kids going from kindergarten to flipping college. No, it takes time for students to learn everything, and it's a process. It's a process that kids learn certain things as they grow, and as they get older and older, they learn more and more. And that's what's going to happen with you. As you get more experience on this YouTube, you're going to learn more and more. You're going to say, okay, I won't do this, I will do that. I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to start doing that. All these things you're going to be able to do and be able to make yourself the best person possible. The last thing that I realized that I learned as a teacher that makes me good at YouTube is the fact that I don't give up on anybody or give up on myself. We have to understand that this is a marathon. And with it being a marathon, you have to take your time. Do not rush to be viral. Do not rush to put out a viral video, because you may get lucky. You may start a channel and 5 videos in, that video goes viral. But guess what will happen? You wouldn't even know what to do because you have no experience. As a teacher, I have to learn that with experience comes the opportunity to know that you can do great things. I am happy for my subscribers. I am happy for my growth because it has taught me that hard work, dedication, and consistency will allow me to be something special. And it can allow you to be special. But you have to be willing to put in that work. You got to be willing to say, hey, I don't just want to get my ass on YouTube and grow quickly, because that's not how it's going to work. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know about proper cameras. You wouldn't even know about proper lighting. You wouldn't even know about proper sound, audio. You wouldn't know all these things if you just start and you're like, hey, unless you have experience in it. But if you don't, you have to be able to grow and make those mistakes. I make mistakes all the time as a teacher, but I'm growing and I'm learning, and my students are learning from me as well. So if you want to be good at YouTube, you got to understand that it's going to take time, of course, but you have to utilize the career that you're in, utilize it and say, what am I doing now, or what have I learned in that career that can take me to YouTube, and use that. Well, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. I know your time is valuable, but you spent it with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for any videos that I drop? I really appreciate you. I really love you, and I really value you. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.